are live. Welcome back to Earle Sports Bets, and today is day number 11 of MLB season previews. We've made it to the American League West, the Wild Wild West, and we're going to kick it on off here with last year's AL West champions, American League champions, and world champion, Houston Astros. Let's take a quick look at what this team did last year, and then we're going to get involved with their preview for this year. Last year, they finished the American League. They won the American League West with 106 wins, 56 losses. They were 7 games better than the second best team in the American League, the New York Yankees, who had 99 wins. They were the second best record in baseball last year, only behind the 111 win Los Angeles Dodgers. So we ready to talk about what these reigning World Series champs are going to do again this year?
Let's do it.
All right, let's get started. We're going to look at their additions / re-signings and their subtractions. It's 3 re-signings, basically, and a pickup for them, and then they did lose some players in the offseason. Christian Javier signed a nice little, I believe, 5-year extension with the team.
That's very good.
Yeah. Michael Brantley got, I believe, a 3-year extension. I believe Montero got a 2 or 3-year extension. And then they acquired Jose Abreu from the White Sox.
Nice.
It's a nice little bat in the lineup there that they didn't need because their lineup's already stacked, and we'll get into that when we get to the team. They did lose some pieces, so maybe this is a replacement for, Yuli Gurriel that they lost. Christian Vasquez, Almiaz Diaz, Will Smith, Trey Mancini, Justin Verlander, and then Jason Castro. They did lose some pieces, but does it really matter? This team is unbelievably stacked. I like the re-signing Christian Javier. He's going to be a Cy Young candidate this year. I didn't pull the trigger on him to win the Cy Young Award. And honestly, I might, because I had 3 picks. They were all from the American League East. I've deleted one, actually. I haven't bet anything yet. When I do, I'll post all of that on Twitter. But I'm no longer betting Carlos Rodon to win the Cy Young.
So good.
Well, he's injured.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so Javier might slip into that spot of what do you call it?
I might make an argument for somebody else.
Yeah, Michael, and then so overall, this team was really stacked. They re-signed 3 good players. I like Rafael Montero in the back of that bullpen. He had a really strong year last year. Remember, he was a Met. Yeah,
it was not good.
Jose Abreu. It's going to be a nice bat in the middle of that lineup. I like the addition there. They did lose a few pieces. Justin Verlander was obviously a big loss, but I think that this team is able to produce pitching like nobody's business. So this is a team that can continue to churn out good pitchers, whether it's Jose Urquidy, whether it's Christian Javier, whether it's somebody we're going to talk about in the next slide, which is their only top 100 prospect, whether it's having Rafael Montero in the bull. This team knows how to churn out pitching. Plain and simple.
We probably have somebody else in the woodworks ready to come up if need be.
Oh, yeah. This team could turn any pitcher into a good pitcher, it feels like. So I think they'll be fine without Verlander. Mancini was just a rental. That was a nice rental that they got for the second half of last year.
He was solid, yes.
So overall, I think they maybe got slightly worse, but I mean, this team is so much better than every other team in the American League. I really don't see anyone stopping them.
Yeah, that's the thing. They can get quote unquote a little worse. I don't think they did. Now I think their biggest loss was Verlander. Although people will make the argument, whatever, he's old or whatever. I still think he's got a couple of solid years left in him. And he just came off of a Cy Young season. One of the main reasons why they were able to get there, one of the solid pieces in that rotation. Diaz, whatever, Gurriel, they're all bats in the middle of the lineup. I think they're solid, but easily replaceable. And Jose Abreu, I think that's a phenomenal pickup for him. And I think it's a buy low spot because he was the 2020 MVP, and really he's been solid, but he's been under the radar because he didn't win the MVP. So I think that Jose Abreu pickup was fantastic. Bringing back Brantley, a solid leadership in
Professional hitter.
professional hitter, a leader. I think that's phenomenal for them too. Christian Javier is going to be a solid number 2 in that rotation, and Montero is really solid in that bullpen. So overall, I still think the Astros are the same, if not still a little bit better than last year.
Yeah, which is crazy that this team can get better than what they were last year.
Yeah.
Which we were hinting at somebody that we're going to talk about on the next slide here. Is actually someone who we saw come up and actually pitch a little bit last year.
Correct.
Their only top 100 prospect. This team is farm system ranked number 28th in baseball. They have one top 100 prospect. That's what happens when you compete for years after years after years. This is a team that's made the ALCS, I believe, 5 straight years. It's what happens. Yeah. You trade away your prospects for players. Like you trade away for like the Trey Mancinis of the world and things like that during the trade deadline. That's just something you do when you're competing for World Series. So obviously their farm system is very bare. That being said, they've got a really bright young star here in Hunter Brown. I think is going to be very good. He's somebody you could probably look at to win the AL Rookie of the Year as a little dark horse there potentially. I like a couple other players for Rookie of the Year in the American League. I would probably pick before this. But I like Hunter Brown an awful lot, and he's going to be the number 5 starter in this rotation.
Yep. Hunter Brown's going to be solid. There's not really much to talk about him. He got a couple of starts last year.
Yes, he did.
So we saw a little bit of him. I know Higgs is a big fan of him. We'll see how he goes in terms of rookie pitching, but I'm excited to get into the actual team.
Yeah, we can do that now. Let's take a look at this lineup. Jose Altuve, the mighty midget on the top there. Kyle Tucker, Alex Bregman, Yordan Alvarez, Jose Abreu, Jeremy Pena, Chas McCormick, Jake Myers, Martin Maldonado. Their rotation, Framber Valdez, Christian Javier, Luis Garcia, Jose Urquidy, Hunter Brown. Their rotation, or their bullpen, Seth Martinez, Matt Gage, Phil Maton, Ryan Stanek, Hector Neris, Brian Abreu, Rafael Montero, Ryan Presley. This team is super stacked. This is a damn good baseball team. This batting order is sick. The 1 through 6, there's not a free out there. And Chas McCormick and Jake Myers are not that either. Maldonado, he's your defensive specialist. They can afford to have a defensive specialist when you have a lineup like that. This rotation may be one of the best in baseball, if not the best in baseball, and it has no sexy names on it. There's not the Justin Verlanders on this rotation. There's no Garrett Cole. There's no Jacob deGrom on this rotation. It's Javier, and it's Valdez, and it's Garcia, it's Urquidy, it's Brown. This is just a bunch of stud pitchers that their names are not highly known. But as a rotation, this rotation is awesome. Absolutely awesome. And this bullpen, the back end, I love the back end of this bullpen with Stanek, Neris, Montero, and Presley. Those are 4 damn good relief pitchers. This is probably one of the best bullpens in baseball. They have 3 of the top 30 relievers in baseball in the back end of that bullpen with Neris, Montero, and Presley, according to Fangraphs. This is a really good bullpen. This is a really good rotation, and this is a really good lineup. I don't think I'm telling any secrets here. I don't think this is rocket science. This is a good baseball team. I have nothing but positives to say about this Houston Astros team. And when we talk about them in the next slide, I'm very high on them again this year.
Yes.
I think this is easily a 100-win baseball team, if not a 105-win baseball team. They're going to we'll get into all the other specifics here. I love this team. I don't really see anybody in the American League coming close to them here. And there's a reason why they're the favorites to win the American League and to win the World Series this year. And I usually don't take futures like that, but we'll get into it.
This is the best team in baseball.
Yep.
I think this is the best team in baseball. This is the team to beat right now. Jose Altuve, I'll talk about him later. Kyle Tucker, solid bat in that lineup. Bregman, Yordan Alvarez was an MVP candidate until he got injured last year. Jose Abreu is a MVP candidate. Honestly, you can look down this lineup and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The top 5 hitters are all MVP candidates this year. I honestly legit think that. Pena's solid. McCormick's solid. Myers and Maldonado are going to be iffy on the bottom of the lineup, but you don't need a lot when you got those hitters up top. Framber Valdez, I'll talk about in a minute. Christian Javier, solid pitcher. And they just extended him. I love that move. Luis Garcia, I believe he was part of a no-hitter last year. Jose Urquidy, he's another solid pitcher. And I'm excited to see what we get out of Hunter Brown. And that bullpen is phenomenal. With Montero and Presley and Abreu and Phil Maton was phenomenal last year. There's probably a couple Cy Young candidates in that bullpen. I mean, you really can't do.
Brian Presley, maybe one. Brian Presley is a top 5 reliever in bullpen, top 5 closer in baseball. Honestly,
this team is stacked, and the only thing that would tear them down is injuries, and I don't really see much of that this year. This is the team. This is the team to beat in the AL, and they've got a phenomenal team. The thing is, I think they got like the 6th highest payroll. They've got the best team, and they're not even spending a crap ton of money.
Yeah,
so
this is a really good. And here's the thing: they have a top 5 rotation in baseball, and they just lost in the offseason in the 2022 American League Cy Young Award winner.
Correct.
And this rotation's still amazing.
I will say real quick, I wouldn't want it any other way. Brad's here. Woo! Brad's here. All right. Yeah, we had a good weekend. We're talking about your Astros and how good they're going to be this year. They will not repeat. That's fine. That's fine. Nick, do you want to get to the futures?
Sure. Why not? Oh, yeah. Let me click it. There we go.
There you go.
All right. The 2023 Astros futures odds. The win total is 95.5. To make the playoffs is -800. To miss the playoffs is +500. To win the American League West, they're -210. To win the American League, they're +300. To win the World Series, they're +600. These are the favorites. With that being said, I'm taking their win total over 95.5. I'm taking them to win the American League at +300. I'm taking them to win the World Series at 6-1. And here's the thing with that. They're the only team in the American League I'm betting to win the league. They're the only future I'm betting to win the American League.
I think I might talk about it again tomorrow.
Really? With Seattle? I don't see another team that's going to come close to them, honestly. I think they go back to the World Series this year. And maybe they get a challenge from the Yankees, but I don't really see that. Mm-hmm. Maybe they get a challenge from the Blue Jays. I don't see that. Maybe they get a challenge from the Rays. I don't see that. Maybe the Twins. I'm sure. Maybe the Mariners. But this is a team that will definitely win the American League. I think they will. They are the favorites for a reason. I don't bet futures like this where it's only +300 for them to make the championship. But that being said, this is a baseball team that has the depth to do it again. They've made the American League Championship Series 5 years in a row, I believe, 5 or 6 years in a row. So if they do that, then I'll get +300 basically for them to win that American League Championship Series. So this is a team that swept their way through the American League last year. They swept the Mariners and they swept the Yankees.
Yep.
So I really don't see anyone coming close to them. And I know one person said they're not going to repeat. I think they will. They're definitely
a very good chance of it.
Yeah. They're my pick out of the American League. I think we could see Astros Mets. I think that could be an interesting series. Astros Braves again. We could see Astros Dodgers. But I think the Astros are the American League side of the World Series here this year. So I'm on the over 95.5. I'm on the win American League at 3-1 and the World Series at 6-1.
All right, here we go. Give me the over wins, AL and World Series champs. Me and you are kind of aligned on that one. Give me Framber Valdez, Cy Young at 14-1, and give me Jose Altuve MVP at 66-1. This team is going to be phenomenal. And when it comes to it, Framber Valdez is going to be the top of that rotation. He's going to eat a lot of innings, and he's going to have like a 2.39 ERA. He's going to strike out a lot of batters. He's going to have a couple of complete games in there. He's going to be the solid piece of that rotation. He's going to be the most sturdy piece. And at the end of the year, when the Astros win the American League by 6-7 games, there's not really any other spot you're going to be able to look. And Framber Valdez is going to be the leading factor of that. I like him to win the Cy Young. And Altuve, for the Altuve prop, I kind of looked through and I wanted to see which one of these Houston Astro players I could have gotten at like the best odds. I wasn't going to go Yordan Alvarez because he's sitting at 12-1. I wasn't going to go Alex Bregman. He was 40-1, although Bregman 40-1.
Not a bad price.
Jose Abreu 50-1, Altuve 66. I figured
Altuve is an everyday guy, so that makes sense.
Altuve is an everyday guy. He's the leadoff hitter. I think he's going to be the biggest factor of that offense. So I figured 66-1 for Altuve to win MVP is not a bad look. So I'll go ahead and grab that as well. I wouldn't talk anybody off of Breggy or Tucker or Abreu or Yordan Alvarez. But I was going to say,
I know he's the favorite out of all those players. I would take Alvarez because not only he had an amazing year last year up until the part where he got injured, but with the shifts going away, lefties are going to get more hits. So I can definitely see him getting more hits.
I meant winning the World Series. Yeah, you said, they won't repeat. I know they won the World Series last year. You don't think they're going to repeat. I do.
Yeah.
I do.
I think they're that good.
I think they're just that good. But everybody's entitled to their opinions. I think they at least make it back to the World Series.
They make it back at least, yeah.
So those are my futures. Once again, I'll have a spreadsheet of them, and I'll post the spreadsheet when we're done with all these videos as well, which we got to keep rolling through these videos because we got enough time. We got time. We probably have to do 2 a day, and we have to do them every day, but we got time. Let's do this.
Yeah, but that is everything for the Houston Astros show. Anything we want to touch on before we head on out?
No, this team is going to be phenomenal. And I know it's the new evil empire or whatever. I mean, nothing's going to be more evil than the Yankees, but it's the new evil empire. Everybody hates them, but they're going to go back.
Yep. But that's going to wrap it up for this one. We want to thank you guys, as always, for watching. Tomorrow will be the Seattle Mariners. Then on Wednesday, we will have a guest for the LA Angels. And then we're going to go with the Rangers and the Athletics after that.
If Richie wants to come on for the Rangers,
we can potentially have that. But that's going to wrap it up for this one. I want to thank you guys, as always, for watching. And good luck with everything tonight.